Hello guys, welcome to my channel Swati Pharmagnan. Today's topic is proton pump inhibitors for H2 blockers, H2 antagonist. The introduction of the histamine and antihistamines. You can check it out for the previous videos. Coming to the topic, gastric proton pump inhibitors, acid secretion in the parietal cells leads to pumping of protons into the lumen of stomach by the membrane H plus K plus ATPase pump. In the parietal cells, acid secretion occurs, so that acid secretion in the parietal cells will lead to the pumping of protons into the lumen of the stomach. Lumen of the stomach is nothing but the interior part of the stomach by the membrane H plus K plus ATPase pump. So this inhibition of proton pump leads to blockade of gastric acid secretion. If we inhibit this H plus K plus ATPase pump, then gastric acid secretion into the lumen of the stomach can be blocked. Proton pump inhibitors converted to sulfoxide derivatives which are highly potent. This proton pump inhibitors, after entering into the gastrointestinal system, they will convert into sulfoxide derivatives. So this sulfoxide derivatives are highly potent drugs. These drugs inhibits proton pump via covalent interaction with sulfhydryl groups with cysteine residues of the H plus K plus ATPase pump. So these proton pump inhibitors will inhibit the proton pump, that is H plus K plus ATPase pump. How they will inhibit? They will form a covalent bond with the sulfhydryl groups of cysteine residues of the proton pump. So proton pump contains the cysteine residues to this cysteine residues. In this cysteine residue, sulfhydryl groups are present. With this sulfhydryl groups, they will form a covalent bond with the drug. So when these drugs will form a covalent bond, they will inhibit the proton pump. Examples under gastric proton pump inhibitors are omeprazole, pantoprazole, rabeprazole and lansoprazole. First structure is omeprazole. So here zole indicates it contains benzimidazole. So that is the first clue for you to remember the structure of these proton pump inhibitors. So what is the clue here? There is azole. Azole indicates it contains benzimidazole. Benzimidazole group is present and here methoxy group is attached, and this side pyridine ring is present. To this pyridine ring, two methyl groups and one methoxy group is present. Between the pyridine ring and benzimidazole there is a link, that is NOCH2. CH2NO group is present as a bridge between benzimidazole and pyridine. That is the structure of omeprazole. So here azole indicates benzimidazole, that is one clue for you. Next, pir indicates pyridine is present. Ome indicates methoxy groups are present. Uses are to treat heartburn, gastroesophageal reflux disorder, duodenal ulcer, erosive esophagitis and gastric ulcer. So for all this treatment we can use this omeprazole. So if the person is in acute stage of peptic ulcer, then we can go with H2 antagonist. If it is in severe stage of if he is in chronic stage, he is suffering a lot because of the erosive esophagitis and because of the chronic peptic ulcer, then we can give the treatment with gastric proton pump inhibitors. That is the difference in treatment between H2 antagonist and gastric proton pump inhibitors. Next structure is pantoprazole. Pantoprazole also contains benzimidazole as the basic nucleus, and it also contains pyridine as another basic nucleus. This pyridine contains two methoxy groups. Between the benzimidazole and pyridine there is a bridge, that is CH2SO group is present, and to this benzimidazole OCHF2 is present. Uses are to treat erosive esophagitis, means inflammation of the esophagus that will lead to rupture or eruptions of the esophagus, and also for the treatment of Zollinger-Ellison syndrome. Zollinger-Ellison syndrome is nothing but hypersecretory disease. Because of the hypersecretion of HCl, it will lead to ulcer, that is nothing but Zollinger-Ellison syndrome. Next structure is rabeprazole. Rabeprazole also contains benzimidazole as the basic nucleus and pyridine it contains, and to the pyridine there is a methyl group and OCH2 CH2 CH2 OCH3 is present. So methoxy propoxy group is present attached to the pyridine, and in between this benzimidazole and pyridine CH2SO group is attached. That is the structure of rabeprazole. Uses or it is used to treat duodenal ulcer, to treat gastric esophageal reflux disorder, and to treat H. pylori infection. What is gastroesophageal reflux disorder? That I have mentioned in the previous video. Next one is lansoprazole. Lansoprazole also contains the two basic nucleases, that is benzimidazole and pyridine. Pyridine contains OCH2CF3 is present and means a trifluoromethyl group. This is trifluoromethyl group. To the trifluoromethyl group CH2 group O oxygen is attached and one more methyl group, and here the bridge between these two heterocyclic compounds is CH2SO group is present. That is the structure of lansoprazole. Uses or it is used to treat various gastric ulcer and duodenal ulcer. It is used to treat gastritis, means inflammation of the stomach which is associated with non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents. Suppose if the person or patient has taken non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, diclofenac drug, or paracetamol or aspirin, any kind of drugs like that related to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, so that will lead to gastritis, means inflammation of the stomach. So that will give the symptom, that is burning sensation in the stomach. That's why doctors, when they are giving the NSAIDs, obviously they will give combination of NSAIDs with proton pump inhibitors to reduce this gastritis. Next is to treat Zollinger-Ellison syndrome and duodenal ulcer which is associated with H. pylori infection. These are the four drugs related to gastric proton pump inhibitors. Next, coming to mechanism of action, proton pump inhibitors converted to sulfoxide derivatives which are highly potent. This proton pump inhibitors, when they will enter inside the body, they will convert into sulfoxide derivatives, because already in all the structures of the proton pump inhibitors it contains SO group. So that derivatives will be formed which are highly potent compared to the normal proton pump inhibitors. These drugs, they will inhibit the proton pump, that is H plus K plus ATPase pump. How they will inhibit this proton pump? By forming a covalent bond with sulfhydryl groups of the cysteine residues which are present in the proton pump, that is H plus K plus ATPase pump. So this is the diagrammatic representation of mechanism of action. So histamine receptor antagonist or proton pump inhibitors, when we will give, it will this H2 receptor antagonist will go and bind to the H2 receptor and block the actions of histamine. So when we are giving the proton pump inhibitors, they will inhibit this proton pump. If the proton pump has been inhibited, it will inhibit the release of acid. If acid is not releasing, then the lumen part, this is the lumen part, means inner surface and inner layer of the stomach, excessive HCl production occurs because of proton pump. If we are inhibiting this proton pump inhibitors will inhibit this proton pump, so that HCl will not release. If HCl release will decrease, then the gastric lumen and ulcer can be reduced. Thank you.